In this video, we're going over the difference between web design and web development. So let's get right into it. Design is the actual look and feel, right? It's how the brand looks, it's how the colors look, it's the typography, it's how the content is represented by the imagery and the photos, it's how the content is structured on the page. The whole style of the design is what helps you attract the client that you want to attract. The development is taking that design and making it into a fully functioning website that someone can actually interact with and take actions on. Sometimes people will say, well, I'm a web designer or I'm a web developer, and we'll use those terms interchangeably, but they are actually two different skill sets. And one thing that I've noticed over the years is that there are three types of people. I'm going to say three types of people. There are many different types of people, but for the sake of example, we'll do three types of people. The web designer that does not do web development. That person is really good at creating beautiful things, but when it comes to the functionality, they have to team up with a web developer to build their designs into something fully functional. And if you're working with someone who is labeled as a web designer, you'll want to make sure you ask the question about that. Like, are you also building the website? Do you work with a web development partner? Those questions will help you glean more information about the relationship. That person, like I said, can make really beautiful things, can't build them. The web developer is typically someone who's a little bit more technical, and they can take a design and build it into something functional. But if you ask them to design something, it might not look as nice. Usually, developers tend to be a little bit more technical, and they like to have a design to follow to a T and build exactly what's in the design. And so that's where the two sides of the coin are different. But let's get to the third person. I call this person the unicorn because they are a developer that also has the design eye. So they have the ability to design something that's really beautiful and design it in a way that so that it functions well. And so these are the unicorns. If you're able to work with someone who can do this, then you're great. Having somebody who can talk through the functionality of a website, but also instruct on how the design and the flow and the structure can work out is extremely important. While there are unicorns out there, if you can partner with somebody who's really great at design and they have a web development partner that's really great at development, you get the best of both worlds. So that's the difference between a web designer and a web developer. And then, we have the unicorns. But consider these types of roles as you're interviewing people to work with for building your website. Thank you so much for being here. If you are on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you're listening via podcast, please give us a 5-star review and subscribe there as well. And finally, if you're on the digitallygrounded.co website, be sure to scroll below this video to see more information in the blog post. Thanks again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and watching, and keep being amazing.